What if the most intimate parts of you, your desires, are not inherently shameful? For centuries, we've been told to hide them, to tame them, to even feel guilty for them existing. But what if this deep-seated shame isn't a natural part of human experience at all? What if it's a story, carefully constructed and passed down through generations, shaping our very understanding of who we are and what we want? This isn't about blaming individuals. It's about understanding a collective past.
Today, we're going to embark on a journey through history, psychology, and sociology to unearth the origins of this powerful, pervasive feeling. We'll explore how cultures, religions, and powerful institutions subtly, and not so subtly, injected shame into the very fabric of our desire. And by the end, you'll see how understanding this surprising evolution can fundamentally change how you view your own inner world. Your feelings are often a product of forces far beyond your control.
Imagine a world where desire was openly discussed, celebrated, and even seen as a path to philosophical insight. In ancient Greece, physical beauty and same-sex love were often integrated into daily life and artistic expression, not necessarily hidden. The Romans, too, had a more fluid understanding of sexuality, where various forms of desire were simply facts of life, regulated by status and social role, rather than condemned by an overarching moral framework of sin. Shame existed, yes, but it was often tied to public impropriety or failure to uphold civic duties, not the mere existence of desire itself. But then came a profound shift. With the rise and spread of early monotheistic religions, particularly Christianity, a new ideology took root. The body and its desires began to be viewed with suspicion. Ascetic practices, emphasizing self-denial and spiritual purity, became ideals. Desire, especially outside procreation, was increasingly framed as a source of temptation, a distraction from the divine, or even a direct path to sin. This marked a radical departure, creating a deep ideological chasm between the spiritual and the carnal, paving the way for centuries of sexual repression.
During the medieval period, these nascent ideas solidified into powerful societal norms. The Church, as a dominant social and political force, began to institutionalize and codify sexual morality. Confessionals became places where desires were not just acknowledged, but judged, categorized, and cleansed. Shame became a potent tool for social control, ensuring adherence to strict doctrines about marriage, celibacy, and forbidden acts. This era saw the development of elaborate theological frameworks that justified the suppression of impure thoughts and deeds, embedding the idea that desire was a force to be vigilantly guarded against.
Fast forward to the Victorian era, and we witness the absolute zenith of sexual repression. Public discourse around sex became almost non-existent. Legs were scandalous, pianos were draped, and even limbs were a euphemism. Women were cast as either asexual angels of the home or fallen temptresses. Men were expected to control their animalistic urges, often with disastrous psychological consequences. How did society reach such an extreme state of denial and hypocrisy? It was a complex interplay of burgeoning industrialization, rigid class structures, and a desperate attempt to maintain order in a rapidly changing world, all underpinned by centuries of religious influence.
As the 19th and early 20th centuries dawned, science and medicine stepped into the void of sexual understanding. But initially, this wasn't always a liberating force. Early sexology, while attempting to classify and understand, often pathologized non-normative desires, labeling them as deviant or perverse. Figures like Freud, while revolutionary, also inadvertently contributed to a narrative of hidden, often dark, unconscious sexual drives that needed to be managed or analyzed. Even as science sought to demystify, it often reinforced existing anxieties, inadvertently creating new categories of shame and abnormality, especially for desires that deviated from procreative norms.
We live in an era of supposed sexual liberation. From the counterculture movements to online dating, discussion of desire is more open than ever. Yet the echoes of historical shame persist.
Why do many still struggle to express their authentic desires? Why does a whisper of guilt still accompany certain fantasies? This lingering shame manifests in subtle ways, in media portrayals that still sensationalize or moralize, in the discomfort we feel discussing sex with family, and in the unspoken anxieties within our intimate relationships. The cultural programming runs deep, even when we intellectually reject it.
This journey through history reveals a crucial truth. The shame you feel about desire is largely a cultural construct, not an inherent defect. Your deepest longings are not inherently sinful, deviant, or dirty. They were made to feel that way by forces operating long before you were born. Understanding this empowers you. It allows you to question, to unlearn, and to begin to reclaim your relationship with your own body and desires, free from the inherited weight of centuries of judgment. This isn't about discarding all boundaries, but about building an authentic foundation for intimacy and self-acceptance. So, if shame around desire is largely learned, what then? What possibilities open up when we consciously choose to dismantle these historical narratives within ourselves? Imagine a world where desire is understood, respected, and integrated into a holistic view of human experience, rather than something to be hidden or controlled. This exploration is just the beginning. The journey to truly understand and embrace our authentic selves, free from inherited burdens, continues. What other societal taboos are we carrying